Hey, welcome everybody. We are here for the PsiX Pro Series. I am your caster Snoopy, and I'm joined by my buddy here.
And I am Salavanth. How are you guys going today? We're going to get a pretty good series between Bowman and Psych. I've checked both these guys out a bit. They look to be pretty evenly matched. It's going to be a PvT and a best of 9 between two PsiX GMs, some of our best and brightest. And we're looking forward to it.
Yep. We are in the lobby already, so we're just gonna go head straight into the game, and it seems like both players are ready. So we're gonna start the game. Countdown has begun.
First map will be Abyssal Reef. A pretty standard map, one that's good for some early pushes for Terran that involve tanks, so we'll see if we see that.
Yep. It's been a while since I've casted. I think the last cast that I did was on the PsiX Christmas Cup, which was on like the 30th of December. So happy and excited to cast with you once again.
Should be good, but here we go. In the top left, representing, well, they're both representing PsiX, the Red Terran. It is Bowman. I am used to casting Clan Wars. And in the bottom right, it is the Orange Terran. It is Psych.
Alright, so if you guys are new to the PsiX Pro Series, basically the format is we have a best of 9, so the first player to win 5 games will win the show match, and the prize pool is going to be first place will get $30, and then the second place will get $20, I believe. So should be a good amount of money to stash up.
Wasn't it 40-10?
40-10. I believe Jedi Zella said that before game is 30 to the first place and second to the, $20 to the second place winner. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Reasonably early scout going out from Bowman, wants to make sure he's not surprised too much, while Psych happy to just hang back a bit. Taking a reasonably fast gas. Looks like both sides want to go pretty standard, at least for the first game. Actually, yep. Nexus going down for Bowman. So it looks like both sides are happy to just feel each other out, see how the first game goes, and then make adjustments from there. Reaper on the way for Psych, standard as can be, while Bowman's just going to try and delay this command center going down by a little bit, force a second probe to be pulled off the line. But Psych isn't doing that, so Bowman is actually going to delay this for a fair bit, and he's not going to nibble at the SCV, correctly figuring that the Reaper will be out in time to just kill the SCV anyway, kill the probe anyway. Probe taking a roundabout route back to Bowman's base in order to try and avoid the Reaper.
Yep, Reaper comes out now. He's going to go ahead and scout around the base, the edge of the base, see if there's the probe hiding around there, because you never know. Bowman can always throw down the proxy pylon somewhere, so just want to be extra careful.
Yeah, that is a good scouting pattern from Psych.
However, the probe from Bowman is actually on the bottom left, so we'll see.
It's not heading to the natural at all. Maybe it is going to be throwing down a proxy pylon. We will have to wait and see what happens here. We do have an adept from Bowman instead of a stalker, a second adept as well, and we don't have a proxy, we just have a Stargate in the main. So this is going to be more of an old style coming out of Bowman, when usually we see stalkers and robo coming out of modern Protoss. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes, especially with the Oracle nerf. Oracles are still quite a good unit. They were never really created for their massive damage potential, but I think this Reaper might actually go down. It gets trapped by the Adepts, and the Adepts managed to take it down. First blood going to Bowman in this match.
Yeah, that's actually really important, because without the Reaper, there is no more further scouting, and it looks like I don't think he saw the Stargate.
He did not, I believe. Let me check. Nope, he didn't, and he's going to be expecting a robo, because that's what most Protosses are going for these days. As I was saying, the Oracle 3-shots Marines and SCVs now with the latest patch, but the usefulness of the Oracle was never just in the early game kills it could get. Oh, that's great. He's using the probe to try and get those last couple shots on the Marine. Having limited success with that, but it is a very cool move that I like to see.
Yep, and
Adepts bring the Marine to 1 hit point, so 1 probe shot finishes them off. You were saying, Snoopy?
Oh, the Helling actually went into Bowman's base, but it looks like it got cleaned up, and it looks like the Oracle's now heading over to Psych's base. The Widow Mine got activated during the fight, but it looks like it's going to be reactivated again, and so he's going to have to be careful with this Oracle here, and be careful not to lose it.
Viking is forced to land against the Adept, which means that it's not there to defend against the Oracle immediately. Oracle will get 2 kills immediately, but it will go down to the Viking. Third SCV does go down. Does take so long to kill SCVs these days. Ooh, bit of a miscontrol on there, and the Viking will take it down. In the meantime, Stalker, there's so many low SCVs that the Stalker could be getting, but it doesn't manage to get it. Worker count pretty much even when you consider mules with these players. Oh, but this second Oracle comes in and it will take out 3 SCVs right away, taking out all of these wounded SCVs. Viking might actually go down here, but the Stalker decides to go after probes as well. SCVs instead. Widowmine is active, so he has to be careful. Meanwhile, Psych has a siege tank, and that will fend off this Stalker, forcing it back, and it will survive.
Yeah, a good amount of economic damage done by Bowman there. He's basically up to a total of 7 worker kills. And
oh yeah, he's suddenly gained the worker lead. Mules are worth about 4 workers per base, and Bowman has a lot more of a lead than that. So he's taking an early lead in this game.
Yeah, especially because he actually took his third during the whole time. So now he's on 3 bases, and we have not seen a third command center by Psych here. So his third is going to be really late compared to Bowman.
But you know what we are seeing? We are seeing a Dark Shrine on the way from Bowman.
Yep.
As well as that second forge, that blink. Getting all of his upgrades, but also getting a little bit of unconventional tech to go with it. Bowman deciding he's not going to play along with the standard meta of PvT. He is going to mix things up just a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like Blink is about to be done, so it looks like Bowman might actually follow up with another attack, or at least a harass. But it looks like Psych is looking to move out here, so we'll see a little bit of a skirmish out here in the middle of the map.
Oh, will he snipe that medivac? He almost does, but not quite. Loses a Stalker for the trouble. And this proxy pylon will go down, so that will definitely hurt Bowman's ability to put on pressure with Dark Templar. He's getting charge, +1/+1, but only +1 weapons might be done in time for this push. The other 2 upgrades will not, as concussive shells and +1 weapons on the way. Oh, that is not a good place to put a pylon. Bowman heading back with his army, but it just doesn't look to have the size that it needs. He is getting a Dark Templar, but the army supply is almost double for Psych right now. He is just going with this 2-base play. And good blink to dodge that Widowmine shot, but does it even matter? There's just so much stuff here. There's no shield batteries at the 3rd base. Will Bowman be able to hold? Good micro all in all, but is this just a numbers game? We'll have to find out. More Zealots and DTs being warped in. Charge is not yet done. It is about 10 seconds away from done. Scanning goes down. Takes out the Dark Templar. Excellent kiting on those Zealots. Widow Mines take down all of the Zealots. There's almost none left. But will the Stalkers and Immortals manage to fend it off? They are attacking from afar. Siege tank shelling from the back. Almost nothing left for Bowman. And Psych takes a commanding supply lead.
Oh, this is gonna
More
be pretty
DTs
close.
and Charge Lots being warped in. The Charge Lots are now ready. 3 Widow Mines get burrowed, taking down practically everything, but doing a lot of damage to the army of Psych as well. Will this 3rd base go down? Like you said, it is going to be very close. Marauders doing so much damage. Probes coming off the line, trying to split themselves up so that the tank and Widowmine can't destroy them all. 6 going down so far. Pulls back with the probes, has to pull back with the Stalkers, and everything's going to go down, and I think Psych has just done it.
Oh, we do see a blink.
No bio left, and it looks like he will actually just hold.
Oh my god, that was so close right there.
That was so close, but there is 4 more gates on the way for Bowman. Still no 3rd command center, I believe, for Psych. Psych choosing to play that extended 2-base style, what many Protosses are doing these days. Many Terrans are doing these days. And that will give Psych a 25 supply lead, though it's certainly not over. He has another army ready to come in. These gateways are only just now starting to pay for themselves. Actually, they are not. They have not been turned into warp gates yet.
Oh man, losing that mortar is so important, as there's a lot of Marauders in this army, and again the pros are pulled, and will
the
he
Widowmine
be able
shots
to
are
hold
good.
it?
This time the bio is just so much stronger, and the army for Bowman is so much weaker. I think Psych is actually going to break through this time around. Good kiting back. The Widowmine's not getting the friendly fire they had before this time, and all of a sudden Psych takes a worker lead and takes out another Immortal. There are only 3 units left for Bowman. His supply is plummeting. It is 97 supply to 50. This 3rd base is going to go down. All of this bio is so low, but it doesn't matter. They still do full damage no matter how much health they're at, and Psych just has too much. Bowman does not have the units to contest this, and the 3rd base goes down. Psych is taking his 3rd base as well.
Wow,
So it looks like Psych is looking to just push in, I would say. He doesn't even have to. 6 sentries on the way, which is not quite what you want at this stage of the game. Bowman is scrambling a little bit to try and get anything up that he can. Liberator will go down, but gets so many shots. Actually, it doesn't even go down until it gets so many shots on. Sentries are good, but not as the bulk of your army. They need to complement a larger damage-dealing force, as Psych is just rallying more and more units across the map.
Yeah, it's getting...
Widowmine's so low. Bio is so low, but it doesn't matter. This Immortal again being misrallied. A constant problem for Bowman over the course of this game, number 1. And Bowman just doesn't have any units left. He's got 27 workers to 41. So I guess he's going to buy some time, get a few more units in. Ideally get some medibacks to heal up this bio, and then he's just going to push in as soon as he can. And there will not be enough for Bowman to hold. These force fields will help, but they're not going to completely do the job. Widowmine does get sniped. Actually, no, it doesn't. A Stalker even getting killed for his trouble. More and more units getting taken down by Psych.
Yeah, Bowman looking pretty dire here because more and more units from Psych being rallied in, and I mean, yeah, like you said, this force we can only hold on for so long, and
the force fields are good, but this medivac does save them.
Yeah.
And the Bowman, he sees running on the wall.
Yeah,
he just GG's out. He knows he's never going to take that third base, and that will be game number 1 for Psych, winning in not a convincing fashion by any means. A very close game on both sides.
Very close. I mean, the engagement could have gone either way, but the Psych managed to pull it off. And now it's time for Bowman to actually choose his map, and we'll see what he chooses. Alright, looks like he is gonna go with Ascension to Ire here. And I don't know about you, but Ascension to Ire is actually one of my I guess favorite maps out of the map pool. How about you?
It has been around for a very long time. I like it, but I mean, I'm a Protoss, so I'm kind of biased. It's a pretty good map for Protoss. It allows them to get all their macro sorted. It's reasonably easy to defend against drops. I'd say it's not a super biased map for Protoss, but it certainly is at least slightly Protoss favored, which is probably why Bowman has picked it. Looks like he wants to go into more of a macro game on a map like Ascension Wire, though it is a long map, it is a big map. It's not as big as some of the other maps like Neon Violet Square, but it is still one of the bigger maps in the current pool.
For sure.
In the top left, the Orange Terran, almost breaking Bowman in game number 1 with a 2-base all-in. It is Psych. And in the bottom right, the Red Protoss, just... wait, not quite holding on, I'm afraid. I'm not really speaking well today. It was, in fact, Bowman. It was, in fact, Psych who won game number 1. Will Bowman be able to take it back on his map choice? It is the Protoss Bowman. Did not get as much sleep last night as I should have gotten. I'm confusing these players a little bit, but I think we're going to be alright.
It's okay. GSL was on, you know. Everybody was up.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, if you guys haven't seen GSL, we're not going to spoil it for you, but it was pretty great. So if you haven't, you can always watch the VODs and catch up. Alright, looks like a Psych actually rallying his SCVs to the left side. And it looks like he's actually going to go proxy as he's rallied to the outside of the main base of Bowman here. So we'll see if he plants down a factory, as the timing looks to be, I guess, pretty on the mark.
I think that he will. He is going to that place just outside the main of Bowman, so I think he's actually going to make this factory and float it into the main base for some cheeky Widow Mines.
Yeah. Or we might even see some cyclones being made. Looks like Bowman is actually scouting with his probe to the right top side, so scouting in the incorrect area. He does have a rally to where Psych actually is proxying, so he will be able to scout it.
He definitely suspects something, thinking, alright, with the way with the way game number one went, I'm not. With the way game number one went, I guess with the aggressive opening from Psych, he's expecting something even more aggressive coming out of game two. Maybe he prepared for this. Maybe he prepared for his opponent because he does see it, and that's terrible for Psych. It's not as terrible as it could be because this factory will finish, but still, definitely takes a lot of the wind out of the sails. And you were right, it is in fact a Cyclone.
Yeah, so it looks like we'll see how he holds it. He is throwing out a stalker, but he might want to put down a shield battery to heal the stalker in case the cyclone goes into the natural.
Definitely, especially since he is trying to hold that natural base. This Cyclone is about to come out though, and it might actually catch this Stalker by surprise. Oh, look at that. Marine SCVs coming across the map, pulling the boys. This Stalker going to lose some of its health, starting to get chunked down already. Second Stalker comes up. The SCVs come up to tank and repair for this Cyclone.
The shield battery might not even get up in time. He might need to use the probes to defend against this.
He definitely will. Probes versus SCVs. The battle we've all been waiting for.
Oh,
will this Cyclone get taken down? It does not. First Stalker goes down. Second Stalker just survives. Does go down. Third Stalker in a terrible position actually, but the shield battery will be the focus. It will be the target. A second Cyclone is not in fact on the way, so this is just the one Cyclone just trying to do what damage it can while Psych takes a command center. This is not an all-in. This is just early pressure.
Oh, look at that cheeky by Psych there.
Brings in a mule in order to repair this Cyclone. Takes out the pylon. This Cyclone will eventually go down, but in the meantime it does so much damage. Oh, actually no, the second Cyclone is out. I did not see that on the production tab. And a third Cyclone is on the way.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the snowball effect right here.
Yeah, he needs that other pylon in order to protect that shield battery. Does go down. Probe after probe is getting killed. Stalkers are also getting gunned down. One Stalker is strong, but so is two. One gets taken down, but this Stalker barely survives. The worker count has been evened up. And it looks like this Cyclone pressure is doing exactly what it's supposed to. Widow Mine on the way now. Because it looks like he's pretty much abandoning this Cyclone pressure. Ooh, does get yet another Stalker. But now with two Stalkers up, with this shield battery finished, I think this is the end of the Cyclone pressure.
Yeah, he should be able to solidify and stabilize.
Getting a Robo and a Twilight is Bowman. Two tech structures, he knows this is over. But there is a Widow Mine on the way. Does borrow it just there. I guess he wants to... Maybe he wants to lift off this factory and lure the Stalkers into it, or maybe he's just waiting for the Stalkers to go across the map. Oh, I think he's going to bait it with the Cyclone. But the Stalker's actually running away. Nope. Oh, Probe somehow baits the Widow Mine. Like, I mean, obviously it's easy how he baited the Widow Mine, but how did he know to do that? He must have suspected the Widow Mine was there based on a lack of Cyclones. Really good play, but the Widow Mine does hit while Bowman were not paying attention, and one of the Stalkers will go down. Overall, slight advantage for Psych, I would say. He is down a few workers, but again, he does have those mules. So he does have a slight economic lead. Tech-wise, it looks to be pretty even. Both sides just getting up their early upgrades. Blink coming up for Bowman. And this Stalker not going to get... Oh, going to have to dodge around this Widow Mine. This factory not going to get anything else done. Oh! The Stalker is chasing on autopilot and it gets taken down too while more gateways come down for Bowman.
Oh man. Especially when you're going, I guess, blink like this, you definitely want to save up all the stock. You don't want to lose them one by one. So it's definitely going to weaken this attack that's coming up for Bowman. As he was looking to go for a Sentry Blink Stalker timing, I think. But with less Stalkers, it should be weaker. And I think Psych definitely getting it way ahead. 60 supply to 48 so far.
Sounds absolutely right. He does have a lot of Marines, a Cyclone, a Marauder. He's got all the tools he needs to defend against this very low amount of units. And Psych actually does put this factory into the main base of Bowman, but Bowman will see it. Will take it down before a Widow Mine gets out. Last hurrah for the factory, and that means that Psych is going to have to remake it unless he builds a starport in the next 2 or 3 seconds, and he's not doing that.
But the
Widow Mine somehow gets out, but it will be seen. He's going to try and blink away from it, and he does.
Oh, nice.
Taking it down. Psych still has the 15 supply lead, though. Some sentries and stalkers being warped in by Bowman, so you were definitely right about that attack, but that attack is so much weaker with all those dead stalkers. But will he still get into the main? He's going to try and force field off this main base, and it looks like he's going to succeed, and he does. How much damage is he going to get done? SCV is being pulled off the line. So many stalkers being brought in. Good force field there. There is a Marauder, though. That will do so much damage. He's juggling these sentries and stalkers in and out of the warp prism. Going to need to keep those force fields up. One missed force field, and this is all going to die, most likely. Actually, because Stim is about to be finished, and he's not going to be able to deny that in time, I don't think. In the meantime, a barracks is going down. He's going to have to force field that again. He force fields a few Marines out, and we'll just take them down. We'll use the SCVs to make sure Stim gets done, but there's so much here for Bowman. It looks like Bowman definitely turning this around. All of a sudden, he has the army. Psych does not. Psych is elevatoring into the main with his first medivacs, but has the damage already been done? Let's find out. The supply lead heavily in Bowman's favor. He's going to continue to force field some of those units out, although it is now a bit too late. All of the Marines and Marauders are heading to the main base for Psych. He's going to stim in, he's going to charge forward. But good blinks going on. Warp Prism gets sniped. And it looks like Psych will clean this up, but he has taken a lot of damage in the meantime and will lose most of this army as well. So many SCVs going down in order to get this done. Trying to retreat is Bowman, but there is nowhere to go. He's just trying to take whatever pot shots he can at the mules, get the both of them. And it's now 43 workers from Bowman for 29 for Psych, so I think Psych may need to go for a counterattack, especially because he's lost so much of his production.
Yeah, I mean, man, that was a really great play by Bowman. He was behind from the start, and he needed to pull off something to try to get back into the game. And with the no medevacs on the field, he abused the force field and got some good trades right there.
Definitely.
It's also interesting to note, Bowman also went for the third base while that attack was going. So he was I guess semi all in, but wasn't totally all in, as he wanted to macro off of this. And,
oh yeah, he had to do damage, but there was definitely a next step. I just wonder how much more devastating would that have been if he'd had an extra 3 or 4 stalkers with it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Although how much less devastating would it be if Psych had gone for a more economic opener? We may never know. Such is StarCraft. And we do have stalkers in position against this triple medivac drop, but actually they aren't quite in position. After all, they do move away. Cyclone, Marines, and a Marauder will come in for quite a strong drop, while the Warp Prism is actually leaving now.
Oh,
Pylon goes down, but it doesn't actually unpower anything. A few probes going to go down, so are a few stalkers, but this army is going to be besieged on multiple sides as the rest of the army from Bowman comes back to defend. Actually, that Immortal has gone rogue. It's decided, you know what, I don't want to fight this. I'm an Immortal for a reason. I don't take risks. I don't take these chances. And while this will be cleaned up, it will be a pretty good trade, all in all. Well, I suppose it is a bit in Bowman's favor because the supply has been evened up now, and he does have 4 Zealots. I don't know if they have charge or not. I think they might. Heading into the main base of Psych, as Combat Shield is just finishing. And yes, they do have charge, and more charge lots being warped in. This is a massive warp in. There are units there to defend, though. This Marine gumming up the work, stopping the charge lots from getting on the bio. And I think that Psych will hold this. He may need to kite against it, though. There's so many charge lots. They're just so strong. And the rest of the medivacs will come back. They're healing out, but as like you said, more charge lots coming in after all. SCVs being pulled off the line to try and tank. So many have already gone down. 12 SCVs have gone down. These Liberators are likely to clear this up. Although this Warp Prism is still just being undefended. And look at all those SCVs going down. And as an attack at the front happens at the same time, 24 SCVs left for Psych. And it looks like this just warping in the main base is getting dividends done. It looks like this may just be the end.
Yeah, 51 workers total killed, and yeah, even if he does clean this up, no, he can't really do anything afterwards.
Look at the supply. There is no army. There are no workers. GG. Bowman evens up the series 1-1.
Well done by Bowman there. So now let's see what Psych chooses in terms of his map choice. So it looks like Psych is gonna go for Catalyst here.
What do you think of Catalyst for PVT?
Well, the thing is, there are, uh, I would say there are a lot of areas where tanks can be abused. But we'll see if he actually goes for tanks, or if he even goes on full-on mech.
We will have to find out, indeed.
All right, so we're heading
Catalyst
into
is a
our third
pretty
game.
choky map. Yep.
For sure.
Game 3 series is 1-1. We're definitely not going to have a one-sided blowout one way or the other. Both games have been quite close so far. Very aggressive as well coming out of both players.
Yeah. All right, looks like we're here at our third game.
We are indeed in the upper left. Taking a game with some strong War Prism harass. It is the Red Protoss. It is Bowman. And in the bottom right, a semi-failed Cyclone harass. Leading to a loss in game number 3. Did get some good damage done actually, but not quite able to fend off Bowman's counterattack. It is the Orange Terran. It is Psych.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a semi-fail for sure because yeah, I think Psych was actually in a pretty good position after that attack. It's just that he didn't anticipate the counter with the War Prism sentries and Blink Stalkers. I think
That's true. That Sentry Blink Stalker attack did so much damage, kept him on the low ground for so long.
Yeah.
Good to know people in GMs still die to that, because I die to that in PvP all the time. The Sentry drop.
Yeah. Oh, we have a fake cannon rush here.
Very nice. I was just thinking, wait, did I somehow miss a forge? But no, this is just a fake, as you said.
Yeah, and he's actually done this in the PsiX Xmas Cup in one of the games. So, oh, he actually lets it finish.
A very credible bluff then. 5 SCVs have had to be pulled, doing so much lost mining time. Psych realizes, hang on, you don't have a cannon, you don't have a forge, you haven't built a single cannon, what are you doing? And will pull him back.
Yeah, I think what the good thing about for Psych is that he didn't totally overreact. I mean, he only pulled for 5 SCVs. I mean, I've seen people like get really panicked and start pulling like 8 or 10 SCVs, and definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah, a good measured response overall from Psych.
As he gets his own command center.
Yep, this pylon will remain in the base for a little while longer. I don't know if this Reaper's going to go after the pylon or if it's going to go to the main of Bowman. Looks like it will be heading towards Bowman's base to scout out what's going on there. Factory is on the way. How much does this pylon actually see? It does see the barracks, so it does see the reactor, but it doesn't see the factory. It doesn't see the tech choice. Which is probably very deliberate on Psych's part. Probably knows the vision range on that pylon, as would expect from a player of this caliber. A Zealot is actually out for Bowman, and no Stalker, so one probe is definitely going to go down. We may see even more as well. This Zealot actually attacking the gas. 2 probes go down overall. Maybe feeling a little bit of nerves is Bowman after that last nail-biting game, because that seems like a bit of a mistake. Not one that's going to end the game by any means, but certainly one that's going to put Psych in a decent position to start off with. Bowman building a proxy pylon on the bottom left of the map.
Oh, will we actually see something like maybe a Stargate or something? What do you think?
I'm thinking it's probably going to be Stargate, yeah. It could be some sort of proxy tech like DTs, but that seems unlikely, and it certainly wouldn't be a proxy robo at this stage of the game. Stargate is definitely the most likely, but I turned out to be wrong. It is a proxy robo at 3 minutes 20. I don't know what Bowman is going to do with this, but I can't wait to find out. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, I mean, he can definitely actually go for Immortals and go for a bus. This map has the natural is actually on the same level ground, so there's no uphill ground that you have to go walk up to. So
that's true. He doesn't even have to go up the ramp with the rocks, because his robo is in a position where he can just go to the third base first.
Yeah. Oh, we do have a Hellion and Reaper making their way in the main. Let's see how many probes he gets.
They were just getting some scouting done, but now they're going after a couple of probes. They will get 2 probes, but this Reaper will get out. Oh no, will it?
Oh, Willie.
So close. The probe's being pulled to try and take out this Reaper. Good
Ah.
micro, but in the end, does get taken down, but wastes a lot of mining time. And in the meantime, yeah, it will be an Immortal being chrono boosted, so it looks like it will be a bust attempt from Bowman as 3 more gates come up. I can't imagine a proxy robo being made for defensive Immortals. That just doesn't work out. You need the Immortals at your base if you want to defend with them. Pro tips from Salivant there. So we will be seeing an Immortal bust on this natural.
Yeah, there's not even the bunker going down yet. He does not have any clue that this is happening.
So it looks like he's just going for a single Immortal into the Warp Prism. We'll be relying mostly on those Gateway units with that Immortal just to buffer, take out Marauders, add some beef to that army. I wonder if he'll make an Observer to stop Widow Mines because there is one already out, or if he'll just make more Immortals and try and warp them across the map.
I think he would actually use that probe right there to sacrifice it into the Widow Mine. I think he's done that before in the last game. He can.
That would be a good idea if he suspects it's there, which he
Yeah.
probably does. He did it last time, after all, so he'll let us this time as well. Immortal Sentry more of a PvZ type of thing, but Bowman looking to adjust it. And Immortals and Sentries, I mean, they're still good units no matter what.
Oh,
Force
nice.
fields are still strong against the Terran player.
It's actually a nice
Building
warrior.
shield batteries is what he wants to do. Brings the probe into the Warp Prism to stop that burrowed Widow Mine. But it looks like this proxy shield battery is not going to work out. The pylon too close to the tank will get blown up before it even gets to finish. And this tank is just doing so much damage. Hallucinated Archons here to tank some shots. As the Immortal is dropped on the tank, it will be repaired. It will get so many shots off before it finally goes down. A second Immortal on the way. These hallucinations soaking up a lot of shots, but in the end, the Immortals and Sentries are all going to go down. And Psych loses a lot of SCVs actually, but he will take out all this army. And this Immortal actually in a really nice position. And he will get out with the Prism. Oh no, he won't. The Viking takes it down.
Nicely held.
With a slight economic lead now, but with an incredible army deficit. Psych may want to just push across the map. This attack has been held beautifully. As 2 Forges and a Twilight Council on the way for Bowman, and he still does not have a robo at his main base. He's just going to have to send that Immortal waddling all the way home.
Yeah, that will be the long road back home.
Oh yeah.
You can actually say compare this Mortal to Arya Stark in Game of Thrones. It took her 7 seasons to get home, so hopefully Bowman doesn't take 7 hours to get that Mortal walking back home.
Well, I don't think Psych's gonna give it 7 hours. He's on the way right now. This Immortal will get back in time to help its friends. It's like, hey guys, what's up? It's like, yeah, we got some bad news for you, mate. We're about to be hit, and we're about to be hit hard. This third base definitely not gonna go up for now. And this army is just nowhere near enough. These Zealots don't even have charge. He moves out to meet it, but that wasn't a good idea. Everything here is just going to get shredded by the stimmed bio, and I'd say that's just going to be GG. Everything dies for Bowman. He tries to warp in a few Zealots, but that's not going to be enough against this bio ball. These Zealots are barely even going to connect. The force field doesn't do very much. Good mine shot. Attempts to drag it in, but it's just not good enough. The supply is plummeting for the Protoss. Everything going to go down. Zealots and Sentries. GG. Psych. Bring it to 2-1.
Definitely could have seen what Bowman was trying to attempt there, because yeah, like with the shield battery, you can if he got it off, he could have attacked continuously and healed his Mortals and Zealots, and just break the Terran that way. But it looks like the execution, that little probe died right before. Oh, it looks like Bowman is actually choosing Neon Violet Square.
Definitely a good idea in theory. I believe that Bowman probably wasn't expecting that tank from Psych, because if it had just been Widow Mines, he could have used the Warp Prism to bait them out. Could have used shield batteries to heal his units, and probably would have broken through, but the tank was there for Psych, and that was basically the backbone of his defense.
Yeah, alright, so it looks like we're heading into our 4th game on Neon Violet Square, and This map
Pretty
is,
quick series so far, all in all.
yeah, it's actually been pretty quick so far. So
But they haven't been one-sided games by any means. Generally involving multiple attacks on both sides. Change the match history. There we go.
all right, I gotta keep remembering to make sure that no.
Players don't want to reveal their builds to anyone who's not actually watching the stream. Anyone not willing to hunt it down. Anyone who's willing to hunt down this video, I suppose, deserves to get this information. But most people aren't gonna put in that much work. Do you have the GLHFs coming down, as we will see how game number 4 goes. Also, I'm not sure if it's just me who can't see it, but don't forget to change the score.
Yep, I got the score down.
Alright, because it shows 0-0 for me, but as long as it shows for those on stream, everything is fine.
Alright, want to go ahead and introduce our players here?
Oh yes, that's right. In the top left, getting a nice, another win. All of these games seem to be going the same way, but for different players. Attacks and counter-attacks around. It is Psych, proving himself the master so far. Bowman, looking to tie the series up, is the red Terran. The red Protoss.
Yep. Oh, wow.
GSL, man.
You see, this is interesting. We actually have
A
a
Nexus
first.
Gateway will go down now, but if there's going to be any map you want to do this on, it is Neon Violet Square. It is huge. It is so difficult to move across the map. Scout will come out from Bowman. It doesn't look like Psych's doing anything particularly aggressive, so... Have you ever done Nexus first in PvT?
No, I'm actually scared to go Nexus first because I'm always afraid that Reaper will come and start killing all our probes, and I won't have enough. I won't have a unit to defend in time.
So am I, so I'm really not sure what Psych's gonna do here in response.
Now Bowman is actually really can play really unorthodox. I've seen him play in a few in the tournament, also in his stream. He actually streams, and he definitely goes for some uncommon builds or openings, and that makes it interesting for us casters and viewers to watch, of course, because we might actually take these strats and incorporate it to our own gameplay.
It's definitely interesting, and you can't underestimate how hard it is to play against an unusual style, even if you've never seen it before, or if you don't play against it as often as the standard style, it can absolutely catch you off guard, even if it might seem a little worse.
Yeah.
And so far, both Psych and Bowman's moves have both seemed very well considered. Even when they didn't work, it seemed like it very easily could have worked if things had turned out just a little bit different, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like he actually gets the Zella out just in time for the Reaper. So he's definitely done this before. He knows what to do.
Very strong Zealot micro, all in all. That Reaper actually almost goes down to it. Is buying so much time. No, not a single probe going down so far, and actually he's going to catch the Reaper and not lose a single probe. Brilliant micro.
Yeah, really awesome micro there from Bowman.
He does need to send some of those probes to the natural though, and he does do that right now. Wanting to keep them all in one place against that Reaper, knowing it's so much harder to defend 2 locations than it is to defend 1, just buying his time.
Yeah, and the macro is already showing for Bowman here, because he's up 41 to 28 so early in the game. It's only 3 minutes and 30 seconds here into the game.
Yeah, the supply definitely powering up very quickly for Bowman.
Oh, let's see. Well, he's actually gonna go bypass the Marines. So he's actually gonna go ahead and sacrifice his Stalker. SCV is chasing after it. Alright, looks like the Zealot is moving in. Gonna get some more. Will he get some SCV kills? It seems like so far no SCVs yet. But that Stalker is really close to dying here.
Oh, I think it will go down, and it does. It does in fact get trapped, and this Zealot gonna go down as well, but it is doing so much. It gets yet another SCV, and all in all, it just takes up so much of Psych's attention to deal with just those couple of units, as Bowman just continues to macro happily back at home.
Yeah, he's enjoying about 20 supply lead already, and it's only again 4 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. This map, he already got a in base third. There is a pretty easy base to take. Not a lot of dead space there, so you can protect it pretty well.
Yeah, that third base is just... It's basically impossible to get to. It's made up for the fact that it is a half base in terms of minerals, so we'll have to see if Bowman switches up his comp to make up for it, perhaps with something like Fast Templar, but he's actually getting a Stargate quite late in the game. Normally if you get a Stargate, it's either early for Oracle Harass and such, or it's late for Tempests, but it doesn't really fit either of these times, so I can't wait to see what Bowman actually does with this. He is actually getting a late Oracle, which is interesting. It certainly will catch Psych by surprise, but Psych will have enough units to deal with it just by virtue of it being that stage of the game, but they might not be in position. There aren't any missile turrets or anything.
Oh,
A fleet beacon for Bowman. I think he's just going to go for Sky Toss. Yeah. I mean, what else can this be? If you're making a fleet beacon at this stage of the game, no wonder he's taking that in-base third.
Yeah, and I think you can actually feel safe to do so because of the early, early Nexus that he took, as well as the damage he had with that initial attack there.
I mean, if there's any map you can do it on, it is this one. But I don't think I've ever seen this in PvT. It seems that Marines and Vikings would just do so well, so we'll have to see how Psych wants to apply, and we'll have to see if Bowman manages to make this work.
Yeah. Oh, look!
I'm sure
this Oracle is actually going into the main base, and there's no turrets here. There's even no Widow Mines here too, as well. So this is gonna be. Let's see how many SCVs go down.
Nobody expects a 6-minute 20 Oracle as Psych is like, what the hell is this? I could have sworn you were not going Stargate. We'll get 4 probes all in all. Even getting your 5th before just retreating out, it looks like. No, it looks like he's going to scout and see, okay, you don't actually have a 3rd. Although, in fact, he does, but the probe is in the way. Will it actually block it? I think it will block it from going down temporarily. Tries to block in that Oracle, does Psych, but it still gets out. Being very slippery.
And that third base, for Psych here,
unable to land. He needs to send out some units to get that to land, and he does, sending out a single Marine. And the command center will land, but Bowman's had his 3rd for a very long time. Yeah, even though it is only half a 3rd. Well, more like 3/4 of a 3rd, since those gases are what's important. He's getting Graviton Catapult, and he's getting 2 carriers at a time.
Yeah, I think it actually works out for Bowman here, even though this 3rd base is 4 mineral patches. The more important thing is that he got the gas, which is what he wanted for the carriers here.
Absolutely. Carriers, very, 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 very gas intensive and very time intensive units. Bowman is going across, Psych is going across the map to attack this natural base. There is only one shield battery here. There is a decent sized army on the ground. These 2 carriers, one carrier is going to be out in time. I don't know if the second one will, and one carrier is actually not very strong at all, so this could do some damage. Especially with this Warp Prism now moving out with some Adepts. If this gets caught, that could be huge.
Oh man.
And he's just snimming right in.
This is a really strong force.
Gateway immediately. Force fields are good, but he just gets them out of there. And takes out the Warp Prism as well. One carrier is down. Well, I mean, one carrier is up as the attack commences, but force fields a bit too strong, keeping Psych's army just chopped up into pieces. And Bowman actually wins that pretty decisively with his force fields and good defense.
Yeah, interesting enough. I thought it was going to be a run over by Psych there, because that army was actually pretty strong. A lot of Marines.
And in the meantime, we have Adepts on the other side of the map.
Oh, nice.
I thought that Warp Prism did go down, but there was another one apparently. As so many SCVs are starting to go down. 7, 8, could even be 9 or 10. No, not focus firing that, but it doesn't matter. 8 SCVs, still very good for those Adepts. And the Warp Prism will go down in the end, as will the rest of the Adepts. But time is definitely on Bowman's side, as he's actually moving out with these 2 carriers. Plus one air attack just finishing.
That's pretty scary though. It's just moving
I've never seen anyone move out with a smaller number of carriers before. Even in PvP, this weird thing about Skytoss is when Protoss goes Void Rays, they never attack with them. They just sit back. Bowman is just another class of Skytoss. Did he? Yeah, he definitely saw those medivacs now. Oh, and this carrier is actually going to get one of these medivacs. It actually does a lot of damage. Wow.
I would
As
expect
this
a recall, maybe.
base goes down, I'm just so confused at this game. It is completely off the wall. I think Psych's pretty confused at it as well. He's going to get this drop back, but a carrier there to defend. Not something I expected to say every day. But here we go. Fourth base does get taken down for Psych, and the supply is starting to plummet. The economy, the army, the tech, just so heavy for Bowman. He's just played this really well. And it looks like this is going to be the end. All of these SCVs going down. It's 18 workers left. This drop is not going to get done the damage it needs to get done. And Psych GG's out, and Bowman takes the game, bringing it to 2-2.
Wow, we have ourselves a series, guys. And we'll see. Let's see who. What map Psych chooses. This time, we have which maps are left. Let's see. We still have Battle on the Boardwalk, which nobody seems to like to play for good reasons. We have Blackpink, and we have Odyssey. Unless I'm missing something. Yeah, I think that those three maps are the ones that are left. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. This is a best of 9 series. $30 to the first place winner and $20 to the second place winner. And we have this is basically a okay. Oh, it looks like Belshire. He's actually going for his additional map choice. So it's Belshire Prestige.
Belshire Vestige was one of our extra maps. Because it's a best of 9, we do need to have 9 maps instead of just the 7 on the ladder. I believe the 9th and final map wasn't actually determined just yet. It was going to be Daybreak, but there are some technical issues with us actually finding that map on Blizzard's.
Yeah, there's actually 2 Belshire Vestige. One that says LE and the other one is LE Void. I'm guessing Void is the Legacy of the Void, so I'm gonna go with that one.
That is correct.
Alright, cool.
Anything with the Void in it is an old map updated for Legacy.
Awesome.
No match history, let's remember.
Yep. Alright.
Looks like both players are ready, so we're ready to get back into this game.
Yeah, and this is gonna be the critical game 5, the tiebreaker. Whoever wins this will be 2 games away from winning the show match here.
It's definitely been one hell of a series so far. We've seen some crazy stuff on both sides. We've seen some very back and forth games, some very unorthodox strategies, and after all the dust is settled, it is 2-2, and we still have at least 3 games to go. I can't wait. In the top left, taking a game with Skytoss on Neon Violet Squares of all things, it is the unconventional Protoss Bowman. And in the bottom right, unable to make it work. Not quite sure what to do against a style like this. Not that I can blame him. It is the aggressive Orange Terran Psych. So yeah, it just seemed that game that Psych didn't know what to do. But again, I cannot blame him. How many times could he have possibly faced this in his life? Skytoss is not the most common build. And in PvT is probably the rarest of all of the matchups.
Yeah, and also even the opening with Bowman going Nexus first, that's also was pretty rare.
Yeah, that would have thrown off all of the timings. And then the Zealot and the Stalker came across the map and just wreaked havoc. All in all, it was just a crazy, unconventional game from start to finish. Both sides trying to navigate it, and in the end, Bowman raining down his victory from the skies.
Yep. So it looks like this map, as you all know, if you played HOTS, is a map that was first introduced in HOTS. A lot of great memories here for me in terms of, watching maybe like J-Dong versus MC or, those epic matches. This is a map that I think both players should be familiar with. Oh, we actually have a Proxy Factory.
Yeah, very I didn't even know it would fit there. Bowman is scouting around for a proxy, but is he going to see this? Oh, he actually is going to see it. And he's going to see
Oh,
it so
wow.
fast, this factory is actually going to have to be cancelled. Because he's just going to take out this probe. If he's just... Oh, the SCV is actually shielded by the map right now. But I don't think this factory is ever going to get done. Only Bjorn can be the one to do that. I don't know if you saw that Total Biscuit Shoutcraft tournament in December. But Bjorn was actually able to manually manipulate where the SCV was with constant stop commands. And Total Biscuit, who's been casting for like 6-7 years, was just shouting, "You can't do that! You can't do that!" over and over again while I was just watching in total awe. But as good as Psych is, he is not Bjorn, but he's actually sending out a second SCV, as well as a couple of Marines to ensure this factory gets done. It will be late, but it will go up in the end. Stalker on the way, but the factory will go down, and there is a cyclone coming out of it. Using the high ground, but the Stalker is just more than a match for these initial Marines, and it will take them down. We'll take down some of these SCVs as well. Oh, this could almost not be a worse start for Psych in this game. He did at least get the factory up. That's really all he's got. Even this SCV that was trapped getting taken down. But this Cyclone is about to come out, and with that, the Stalkers will have to retreat. Good timing, but one Stalker's going to go down, it looks like. Actually, it survives. Wow. Cyclone trying to chase it down. Will do a lot of damage to this second Stalker, but there's 3 Stalkers out now. Never mind, one of them disappears in a blast of machine gun fire. Stalker's so low, just barely keeping themselves alive. Wow, beautiful micro from Bowman all in all. Will take out pretty much everything, and this rush, which started out badly, is now just floundered in the water. Bowman already 11 workers up. Excellent scouting all in all. He knows his opponent. He knows what's going on. Shield battery is up, and I don't think this rush is going to get any serious damage done from here on out. Psych does have an expansion, but he is definitely behind. As a Dark Shrine coming up from Bowman at 4 minutes into the game after fending off Cheese. What is this series?
Hey, might as well counter cheese with cheese, right?
They absolutely did not disappoint. When behind Dark Shrine, but you are not behind, Bowman. What are you doing? This factory forced to lift off. This time, will the Widowmine get another shot off it? Oh, so close, but it doesn't. The Stalkers do retreat.
I think our
36 workers to 21. Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think our very own November will actually be proud of this.
She would love this series. We do have a proxy gateway as well as 2 more gateways coming up for Bowman, so it looks like he's going to go up to 4 gates in total, and he's just going to attack. This reminds me a lot of the game on Catalyst, but it is infinitely better as a position for Bowman. With these DTs, with this blink on the way, with 4 gates, he's going to take one of these natural gases. I don't think he's going to take the second one. I think he's just going to go for blink stalks and DTs and put on as much pressure as he can. And Psych is completely unaware of this. Oh, Widowmine, it does get 1 probe kill on the red side of the map, on Bowman's side. Meantime, we do have a few Stalkers. There are a couple of Marauders, but overall, this army is just so much better for Bowman. And with his first Dark Templar coming in, it will snipe 1 Marine. It is going to snipe a second one. Scan goes down, but how many scans can he have? Oh, it doesn't even get the Dark Templar. Dark Templar going back in, another scan used, but that's 2 scans, that's like 500 minerals used to deal with this.
Shield battery going down too.
Yep, but the pylon is going to go down. Another pylon is on the way to replace it, but if these shield batteries go up, that could basically be the game. Bowman in a great position. He's like, oh, I'm ahead, I'm just going to kill you before anything else happens in this game.
Oh, there's no scans
He
left.
knows how to finish games. No scans. Dark Templar chewing away at these Marauders, which are the main threat to these Stalkers.
And blink just done.
The bunker's not going to go up. It gets taken down. Stalkers are blinking away, using the shield battery to generate their health. They are basically mini immortals right now. They will not die. 43 workers to 24. Marauders go down. There are no more Marauders left. One of the Stalkers goes down, but it doesn't even matter. All the Marines are going down. He can just blink on top of it at this point. GG from Psych and Bowman. Taking a quick game number 5 to go up 3-2, going up for the first time in this series.
Well done by Bowman in terms of scouting that early proxy and delaying it by so much. That really helped him. Held that compared to the second game, I think, where Psych went for that same strat, the proxy factory into cyclones. This time, it was Bowman who held pretty convincingly, and we are now into our sixth game. Yeah, sixth game, and it's gonna be on Blackpink LE.
It is indeed. What have we got left after this? I believe we have Boardwalk,
And Odyssey, I think.
Boardwalk, Odyssey, and the ninth map that I don't believe was ever decided. I would like to hope that it does go to the ninth map. There's a very good chance it will, based on how this series has panned out so far.
Yeah, pretty even so far by both players. As you can see by the portrait, they're both GM players, so...
And both very entertaining at that. In the bottom left, just losing another game. Down 3-2 in this series. Needs to bring it back. His Cyclone proxy's not working out. It is Psych. And in the top right, with a beautiful defense into an equally beautiful attack with Blink Stalks and Dark Templar, it is the Protoss Bowman. And Bowman, he's heading across the map immediately.
Yes, and I feel like we know what this is about to be.
I don't think we do.
I'm
This
guessing there's a
could
forge.
be.
Oh wait, it's not a forge. It's actually a really fast gateway.
As I was going to say, say this is either a cannon rush or a fake cannon rush. Those were my likely two possibilities, but it doesn't look like it's either one, actually. Bowman just going very early across the map to put a proxy pylon down, perhaps.
Wow, this is
Which
actually...
is weird, because normally you don't send a probe across that fast. I can't
Yeah.
imagine what this could be, unless he wants to proxy the cybernetics core, but that's really of limited use. I wonder what he's getting such an early pylon for. Maybe it's just so that he, in case Psych scouts, which he might do, given how aggressive Bowman's being, he won't see this probe moving across the map.
Ooh, a
But
second
another gateway. This looks like... Could this be a 4-gate?
gateway. If he actually does this, that would be crazy.
Because he's getting that very fast gateway out. I can't imagine that being for any reason other than for very fast warp-ins. Or maybe he's just going to be making some stalkers out of that proxy gateway and sending them across the map very quickly. Command center does go down. Bowman fails to deny it. Reaper on the way.
Oh, this Reaper not even gonna be rallied to the outside of his base, so he's not gonna even scout this.
Who would suspect a proxy gateway like this?
Yeah.
And we do have two stalkers on the way. One of them very, very, very close. Both of them being chrono boosted. So this is definitely going to be some very dedicated stalker pressure. I've never seen stalker pressure quite like this.
Oh, the Reapers actually was
It's
rallied.
scouting for proxies, but not in the right place.
Yeah.
He's scouting for a proxy Stargate. It's like, you thought I would proxy the way everyone else in the game does? You clearly don't know me. This command center going to get denied by this stalker, and Psych's probably like, wait a minute, how the hell do you have a stalker here already? What the hell is going on?
Oh, he might
SCV's
get
being
surrounded.
pulled. We'll try to surround it, but not quite. Oh, will this Reaper go down? No. Good grenade. SCV's starting to take damage. One of them will go down. A second stalker on the way. A third stalker on the way to reinforce his bodies. It is going to be right there. Basically just neighbors to Bowman. So many SCVs already going to go down as he actually goes after this Reaper as well. This stalker pressure just doing amazingly. Looks like Bowman is starting to get the advantage the further on this match goes.
6
Already
SCVs
taking
killed.
advantage and denying this command center for quite some time. Reaper going across the map. Not quite going across the map. Or perhaps it is. I do not know at this point. So many stalkers moving across the map. I no longer know how to evaluate this situation because I've never seen it before in my life.
Wow.
Cyclone coming out, a good choice by Psych all in all, but is there just too much? No, two stalkers will go down, even a third one, almost. The Cyclone goes down, but at what cost? Marines using the high ground to try and fight these stalkers that they normally could not face. But with this extra stalker coming out, they can one-shot Marines, and with the lack of focus fire from Psych, all of these Marines are going to go down, and this command center does get finished, but it's forced to lift off immediately. But we actually have no expansion. for Bowman. He's only just trying to take it right now. So I'd say that if he keeps his command center alive, Psych's still in a decent position, but this reactor is going to go down, and the Stalkers are going to make their way into the main. A Cyclone coming out just at the right time. Will it get focused down? The repair is good, but is it good enough? Almost.
Just get it. Oh, wow.
But not quite. But in the meantime, 3 Stalkers did go down. So Bowman again forced to retreat. He is getting Blink very quickly. So we have 2 command centers for Psych, but no natural expansion. We have a natural expansion on the way for Bowman, but it's not there yet. Both sides playing a very low economical game, but with this more Cyclones, with this landed Viking, I say that Psych's going to fend this off and take his natural pretty quickly.
This early game.
I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but what do you think of this situation, Snoopy?
Well, I think it's pretty even as of right now, but I think it will probably deviate once the Blink attack starts. We'll see how that goes, and then I think at that point we'll know who is going to be inching further ahead. Looks like it's going to be 75% done. He's going to want to be careful of these stalkers here. Don't want to get killed out in the middle of the map here.
Yeah, he probably does not want to fight at this point until Blink is done. That is a massive force multiplier for these Stalkers. They can one-shot Medivacs, two-shot Cyclones, but Blink will just give them all that mobility. And actually, Bowman's just like, wait a minute, you don't actually have that much stuff. I'm just going to move forward and force you off this. I don't care if Blink's done or not. Stalkers are a good unit.
Okay, looks like
Bowman's
going to actually...
He's going to try and go up the ramp. Almost loses a Stalker immediately. Good Blink micro here.
Ooh, nice
doesn't really
micro.
get that much, but doesn't lose any Stalkers. And I would think he's just going to try and contain. I don't think he certainly can't get up this ramp now with this siege tank. But in the meantime, Psych does not have an expansion, and Bowman does. Sending some Marines to deflect. Oh, this is probably not a good idea. He is going to snipe that tank, though, actually. As this... Where are all the Marines left to go for a drop? So this is actually Bowman's chance. So many of his Stalkers are so low, but they're still doing damage.
That drop might have been actually a mistake.
Everything is so much in the red. One of these Stalkers has 1 hit point and 6 shields left. Another siege tank gets knocked down. Bowman has no fear at all, and it looks like he's just going to take this down, while 6 Marines are just not going to do the same level of damage on the other side of the map. But he is finally going to deflect this. 2 of these super low Stalkers finally do get knocked down. The low health of these Stalkers finally getting punished, but it's 6 workers to 31. Unless these 6 Marines literally win the game, it's all over.
Oh my god, pros being pulled. He might actually...
Trying to get this around.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
there's just way too many probes.
Yeah, too much.
4 workers to 29 and 3 more Stalkers being warped in. GG. Bowman will be on match point, going up 4-2.
Wow. I'm telling you, Bowman with the unorthodox builds here, making it happen.
Can you believe that one of my first concerns when I was casting this was, how are we going to fill up the downtime in 9 games?
Yeah, it's been going on.
How silly I was to worry about that. These guys don't know the meaning of the word downtime.
Yeah, they're just going all aggressive here.
Downtime is the first 40 seconds of the slow games in this series. Both sides just going all out, swinging at each other, but it looks like Bowman, in the end, has kind of downloaded what Psych's plan is. And after a bit of a rocky start, has now taken 3 in a row. We're going to see if he can bring this back, or if Psych can rally and bring this to not only Game 8, but also the Ace match.
Yep, and I think if this actually ends like really quickly, this will probably go down as our fastest PsiX Pro Series match ever.
It very well might, but it has certainly been a great one. It hasn't been one-sided by any means. In the upper left, now on match point, needing 3 wins in a row in order to take this series and the $30 first prize. It is the Orange Terran, it is Psych. And in the bottom right, taking 3 games in a row to go from a 2-1 deficit to a 4-2 lead, looking to close out this series right here, right now, it is Bowman. Ooh, and I really like this pylon placement. Take a look at that. He's going to block out that Reaper from using that platform to get into the main base. I've seen pros do this more and more lately.
Yeah, I
And it
seen
looks
it
like
as well.
with the Gateway and Cybercore, he's just going to completely block off the Reaper, force it to come in from the natural, only have to defend from one location instead of two. We'll have to see if Psych even wants to go for that Reaper. With all of the weird builds he's been going, that Reaper is pretty much his one constant, and I can understand why, given that scouting is so important against a guy like Bowman. So I certainly don't fault him for going for this Reaper pretty much every game, rain or shine. Though he has gone for a couple of proxies, so we'll see if he does that again. Doesn't look like he wants to do anything too crazy. It looks like a Nexus will actually be taken from Bowman, and it is a minute 20 into the game, and neither side has sent a probe or SCV across the map, so it looks like we're going to see one of their macro games, quote unquote.
No.
But both sides will go up to 2 bases. Looks like both sides deciding to put a little damper on the aggression for the next couple of minutes. But I don't think they're going to stay dormant for long. Cybercore does go up, completely blocking out that Reaper from getting in through Ascension to Aya's Reaper platform, Odyssey's Reaper platform. Ascension to Aya, I believe, does not have a Reaper platform. Another good reason why it's a good map for Protoss, as befitting a map called Ascension to Aya. Reapers don't need to ascend to Aya. They have Core Hull, although they don't really have Core Hull since after Kerrigan and Amon, it's kind of messed up. I mean, did you see it at the end of that cinematic? The whole planet was on fire. It was like a whole planet full of Australia. And let's see what Bowman decides to throw down as his tech of choice. I think it's going to be a Robo based on the gas, but actually it could be a Stargate, given that...
We should
I'm
see
not
it
sure.
come down in just a second, but I think he needs to defend against his Reaper first.
Yep, Reaper moving into the main. Does not get anything done. Doesn't even get any scouting done. Stalker will fend this away. Will not kill it, I don't think. And it doesn't. But we don't have any tech from Bowman just yet. He is now throwing down his Robo. So it looks like he's going to play a more standard style this time around, and we'll see how he goes with this.
Yeah, this is going to be our first game of the series where both players are actually playing standard at the same time.
Pretty much, I would call Stargate in the at least standard-esque. It was standard just a month or so ago. It's not really in meta, but I would also call it reasonably standard play. But yeah, both sides looking like they're going for something somewhat conventional. A pretty tech-heavy opening from Psych, but nothing out of the ordinary too much. Looks like it's going to be a Widow Mine drop coming out of him, with some Hellions going into the natural. Probably following that up with a Liberator. The Hellion and Liberator harass seems to be quite popular in TVP these days, just trying to pull the Protoss limited early game units out of position. We do have this first Hellion. There is no wall off at the natural. Well, there is a pylon there. But in the end, the Hellion will get in. It won't get much done on its own, but it will get all the scouting it could possibly want. The Reaper tries to join it, but it can't because of that wall off. And will any probes actually go down? It looks like one probe does go down.
Will he get a
But
second?
no,
Nope.
not a second one.
No second.
Which is still fine considering all of that. He does get a second with the Reaper actually before it goes down. And that's fine considering that Psych knows exactly what Bowman's up to, and given how weird Bowman tends to play this out, that is probably a bit of a relief for Psych. It's like, alright, I don't have to worry for the next couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Although
but
if I was Psych, I'd probably be like, wait a minute, everything looks normal. This is very suspicious. I'm about to face, like, I don't know, proxy tempests coming my way or something.
it looks
Bowman
like,
would do it too.
yeah, it looks like Bowman's actually moving out with a blink, and he might actually do the same strat where he does the sentry on the
We
ramp.
won't have Blink for a long time, and this Widow Mine is going to act as a very effective stopgap until this Observer gets across the map, because without Blink, without a Warp Prism, there is no way to tank that Widow Mine shot except by sacrificing a Stalker.
Yeah, it looks like a Warp Prism finally arrives.
And that buys just enough time for the tank to get out. Excellent build from Psych. The Widow Mine will go down, but the tank will keep him safe. Actually, he's going out for another drop. That really hurt him in the last game, and it could hurt him in this game as well. If Bowman knows what's going on, he's just going to elevate these Stalkers into the main base. Look at that. Bowman always finds a way to get something done. And with this drop going across the map, with this tank not in siege mode, having to siege on the low ground, this could be really bad for Psych. These Stalkers, Blink has just finished.
Oh,
They are
Stim.
going after
Oh, in the
Combat
combat
Shield,
shield.
and they will take it down, and they will probably go after Stim if they get the chance. Reactor on the starport getting taken down. Psych can't go up his own ramp. He has nothing here.
He only has a
He's going
single
for a drop.
siege tank and some marines.
Exactly. He's going to have to rely on the SCVs for defense, which means he's going to lose so much. Viking does get landed temporarily. Blink is going to keep these Stalkers alive for so long, even warping in Adepts, figuring Adepts shred SCVs faster than Stalkers do, and that's about all you have to defend here. So many SCVs going down, and it looks like this could be the end of the series. Bowman is going to drop at this natural base, but he needs to get incredible damage if he wants to bring this back. Even Stalkers in the natural, temporarily. We do have a lot of probes going down, but it just doesn't match the number of SCVs. There aren't many units here to defend for Bowman, but there are some. But there is nothing that shoots the medivac. So he will continue to be annoying with this, will Psych. But now 3 Stalkers on the way. This medivac will get chased away. And commanding lead. Actually, not as commanding a lead as I expected. Bowman does have the lead, that is for certain. But he doesn't have a huge one. +1 weapons is almost done. Stim did finish.
Oh, Stim did.
Charges on the way for Bowman, but the worker lead is in Bowman's favor pretty heavily, but with mules, it's not a huge worker lead. We'll see if Psych can get anything done with this. He is definitely behind, but he's not out of this game. It is not over, even though the third base is now up. But with the third base up for Bowman, and the third base not started for Psych, Psych needs to get some damage done. But if there's one thing Psych specializes in, it's getting damage done off 2 bases. And the Liberator is going to try and take down some SCVs, but these Stalkers will blink and take it down. Barely loses anything, Bowman does. He's on top of this. As the Forge, perhaps the second Forge, goes down for Bowman. Psyche is moving across the map though. Bowman is floating a lot of money. He is building 4 more Stalkers though. Oh wow. He's got those gateways up. He's getting double Forge. That's not going to help him in this incoming attack, but I think this may be the last attack.
Oh, this
Psych
observer actually spots the army coming.
Beautiful observer from Bowman. And Psych has a lot of Widow Mines. He has a tank to buffer this army. He has 2 medivacs. He's got a strong ball of bio to match this Blink Stalker immortal pressure. It's all going to come down to this engagement, but it looks like... Oh no. Not in position. This siege tank will go down. So will the medivacs. I think this is going to be the end. One of the medivacs completely full goes down. The other one's not going to escape either. Blink's on top of it, and all of a sudden the supply lead massively in Bowman's favor. This attack not just fended off, but completely and utterly obliterated. Dark Shrine, +1/+1 on the way for Bowman. No third base for Psych. Army is just not going to compete with Bowman. Economically, technologically. Everything except upgrades. Bowman is ahead. And give him a few minutes and he'll be ahead in upgrades as well. Bowman looking to take this series right here, right now. Sniping these Widow Mines as well, just to add insult to injury. We'll have to blink away from this. Oh, blinks away 1 Stalker, but that's actually not enough. The splash damage still does their damage. He will need to get more of these units across the map. Charge lots, Blink Stalkers. A very strong combination. Doesn't have a Warp Prism with this army. That is the one saving grace of Psych, but the army is just so strong.
Yeah.
So powerful. And Bowman's just barreling forward with these Immortals and Blink Stalkers and Charge lots. SCVs being pulled off the line.
Oh, this
Nice,
is it.
says Psych, and that's it. Bowman will take this series 5-2 with some very, very aggressive builds all around.
Yeah, so congrats to Bowman on winning that $30 prize. But Psych, he doesn't go home empty-handed. He actually gets $20. So well done for both players there.
And while the series was 5-2, that certainly doesn't tell the full story. Psych played very well. He definitely played well even in that last game, even in the last few games of the series where Bowman got 4 wins in a row. But in the end, Bowman just adjusted to the chaos better than Psych. I would say that is the overall theme of this series, adjusting to chaos.
Yes.
Because that is entirely what happened.
For sure.
Both players just brought this game into the mud, but in the end, Bowman was the one who stepped out of the pit.
Yep. And that concludes our Bowman versus Psych show match for the the PsiX Pro series. And we actually have another PsiX Pro series tomorrow, and it is going to be Penguin versus
Penguin,
Riser.
Penguin versus Riser, indeed. A ZVP between two very good players, and it's going to be a pretty great one as well. I will not be casting this one, but our
Yeah, Gorgonoth.
experienced PsiX caster Gorgonoth will be casting it, and it promises to be very exciting, just like this one, though. I don't know if we're going to see games exactly like these ones.
All right.
This is an experience, I tell you. Casting this was crazy. I could never tell who was ahead and who was behind. Great series all around. Good job from both
very
players.
back and forth for sure. All right, so I guess we'll see you guys next time. Thank you all for tuning in, and again, thank you to our sponsor, Africa TV, for sponsoring this series. So thank you.
Without
And,
Africa, none of this would be possible.
Yep. And we'll see you guys next time. All right. Have a good night.